Some updates on the piano there. It's been like 2 weeks, I think, since the last one. So two things. The first one, I started again the polish of the soundboard. I actually sanded it a bit because there were like irregularities I was not happy with. And then I put again a first layer of French polish. And then actually I got stuck a bit by putting French polish, making marks, and I just noticed that I was not using enough oil. So that's something I was integrating now in my next layer, and I will put again 2 layers oil on it. And then another thing is I learned that I should do like movements like this to really put a layer of lac everywhere of the French polish, and then finish with straight lines to try to even out in the direction of the fiber of the woods. So yeah, still learning this. And by the way, I'm building furniture there, a shoe shelf to learn that I will French polish, just to improve my French polish technique for when I will do the outside of the piano. The outside of the piano I was discussing, so the guy sent me this, where he put like a aggressive product on it that takes the lac, the polish away. There is still some polish and there not, that's the wood, right? And that's something very toxic. So that's this thing there, something very toxic. So for taking this lac away, I should buy a mask, I should buy a special chemical glove protection, I should have very well ventilated place, which I don't really have. So I'm a bit scared of using this, so I decided to do differently. As you can see there, that's what he brought me. He took this layer out and I kept sanding it with sandpaper, and I got this result. So you can see that that's actually the wood was getting clearer because of the sun, and that's actually the original color of the wood. So I was sanding the whole thing, and I got rid of this layer here and came to the original color again. So we'll do the same here again, and there I have some, so there the palisander wood is quite thick, so I can go deep, it's not a problem. Now the problem I have, for example, there's another layer of palisander. You can see this one is quite thick too, so I'm already experimenting a bit here. You can see I'm putting alcohol on it, and then I'm trying to scratch what I can with this, but there it doesn't work, so I'm really sanding it here. And you can see I got rid of the lac of the French polish layer, except where you can see it, except here I have to do a bit more. And actually this was more like this color, because of the note stuff here. It comes until here, so it had a mark here of the sun that made the wood lighter. So I was polishing here to get this color again here, and then I need to polish a bit more to get more of the varnish away. So I think there will be fine. And as I said, the layer is quite thick, so I can polish a bit there. I can sanding it without being scared. But the problem I will have here is on the side of the piano. The layer is very thin. You can see it here, actually. There, you can see this layer is very thin. There are other places where you can see it better, actually. If I take one, you can see how thick it is. Well, I don't know if you can see this on the camera. It's like less than a millimeter. I was measuring it. It's less than a millimeter. It's not 0.9. And some places maybe even less. So this part anyway I take off and I put a new one. I will glue a new one. I will have to match it. This one I will have to re-glue, so this, and there I will have to cut out a piece also. And this part here I will have to also cut out a piece and polishing it, sanding it until it's the right size here, and then gluing it. This seems to be other wood because it's getting clearer. I don't know, we'll see. And then my problem I have here, I started sanding this, so the wood is smooth, and I could again put French polish on it. But I have this color here that's lighter because of the sun. I'm not sure if I keep sanding it, if I will go through the wood here. That's maybe the danger. So maybe I will keep the color there. I will see, experiment a bit, so you can see the difference between how it was before and how it's after it's being polished. Actually, the best you can see is here. There the color of the wood is really nice. There's a bit too clear. I will see how deep I can go there. Yeah. So I'm still experimenting with these things, but I think I will do it by sanding because it's just less dangerous. And there's less light. There I'm still a bit working on it too. I think there I'm rid of the French polish. There we'll need to have to glue a new part. And this part seems to be quite well preserved, so this one I will probably not do much. I would just slightly sand it and then go with French polish on it, and it should be fine. So I just came to Klavierwerkstatt Rene Waldhauser. It's close to Basel. I brought him my Erard parts as his atelier. He's busy working on a Steinway there. I brought him these parts here, the piano parts that we will take the lack off Wednesday, so in 2 days. We took these parts away too to send to the watchmaker. He will polish this all, that this looks really new again. There were some worms. We put some product in it to take the worms, to be sure the worms don't survive, and I will take all the lack away from this. There he's doing an intonation of a Steinway B. Intonation is just like, be sure the hammers are not too hard or too soft, so the sound is nice. And he's organizing concerts here too. Rene Waldhauser. He also gave me some, you can see there is wood. He gave me some palisander wood to fill the holes that are missing in the piano. Today I went to take the mechanic back. They replaced the, what is the name again? The load here. So this heavy part that was oxidated or oxidated, yeah. And they repainted the black one in black, and actually they put some back. Sometimes they change the place, they told me. So it was, for example, here it was there and they put it one here, but they weighted each key to be sure it's the same weight at the end. I asked my piano technician to bring some felt to replace this one and this one here. They are really messed up. And then the felt are done. No, I just don't remember it if it was this direction or the other direction, but we still can change them, because actually all the bass have a little screw to put it higher or lower, so this regulation still have to be done. Then these felt are actually a bit too thick, so we'll have to cut them again, a bit thinner, and then I have to have them straight. So the technician found a way to glue this stuff. They are all glued now, and that seems to be fine. This has to be remounted and will take some time to get everything on the same height, and we'll probably have to try with the strings to see if it's fine, but I will mount already everything, put everything back, so that first step is done. Here, as I was showing in the short, I'm practicing French polish. Actually, I built this shoe shelf some time ago and I redid it with some polishing, sanding, adding feet, and trying to French polish this surface. This surface is not going so well. I don't know why the underlayer seems to react on the French polish. Maybe it's because it's glued wood. But this wood here, it's African exotic wood. Looks really great already. It's the second layer, and I did some pumice, so that is kind of very thin stone powder to fill the pores. But this wood has a lot of pores, it's very open. So it's more difficult than this wood, for example, who is more plain. So yeah, that's the stuff I'm just making my experience with wood, how they react and everything. And I'm practicing on these two doors. These are the doors of this. Actually getting better with French polish. I understand it better, I feel it better, and then I will do it on the piano later. And there I went also, the metal work is done. They painted back in bronze with a protection coat on it. There is a big plate. You can see looking really nice. So the music shop Music Hook from Zurich did this. They have a painting room. It's of course more easy. It's not perfect, but the thing I painted were not perfect either. You can see some stuff here, and yeah, if they had to polish this stuff away completely, which was difficult, but I tried also on my side, and I noticed it's really difficult. It would have taken much more time. It would have been more expensive, and my budget is already on the limit. So there was this file like this, looking great, looking clean, let's say. It's not new, but the piano is not new, right? That's the wood for later for the reparation I will need to do there. Next step is I'm at the Klavierwerkstatt von Rene Waldhauser. So you can see we're just putting this chemical there in the box, put it in a small thing. So I just put very thick chemical on it, then we put this paper on it too, so that it doesn't evaporate too quickly. And once it needs like 15 minutes to act a bit, to start to attack the varnish, and then we'll just scratch it off and see how much is left. Maybe do it a second time. And I'm doing this open air. You see it's open here because it's quite unhealthy to respirate this. And yeah, the piano technician just came over and then he showed me, because I have this problem of some felt are too wide, so he put actually a big felt, like with the size decreasing, and then he cut it, and after cutting some moved a bit because it's very soft felt, so we have to recut some. So I will have to put, I will actually show it later, I will have to put a felt like this, have it straight, and then cut the side with a very sharp knife. So that's something I will do later. Then he brought me this, actually. This is to make the ending of the strings in the French way. You know, they have this very nice ending that I can show on the bass strings, and that's something too you can fix on a table for making a normal ending. There I'm starting to replace the felt, so this one, because there you can see the old felt. Actually they put two, it's 6mm, and then I'm putting the new ones here, so one behind and one there. And actually this one is still fine, and we prefer not to replace, because if we replace this one we have to do the whole regulation again, and since it's good enough, no need to do so. All the felts are here. So there I have the bass strings, and you can see there the ending is this French ending. So that's the machine I have on the table there, where I can do this French ending. There are some more stuff. Then the hammers are still there. Now I just have to polish them a bit, sanding them a bit so that they look a bit newer, and then screw them again on the mechanic. So then there is one bar coming here with the screws, and I have to put the hammers on it, and then the mechanic is actually basically done. The mechanic was working already really well, so if we feel there is some too much spacing here, which actually wasn't really a problem, we still can turn these pins a bit, because they are not round, they are slightly, they are not round, I don't know how to say it in English. You turn them a bit like this, and then it would fill the gap here, and there will be less movement, so this will be fine too. And then we can lubricate every axe eventually later, but probably don't need it too, because as I said, the mechanic was working really well. As you can see, the piano is now in this position, which is actually a thing I really like, because it's not so often you can see the piano from this side, this view. You can appreciate the length of the piano, see the shapes here, which I really like to see. And contrary to the Steinway, so this shape of course you have in the Steinway too, the higher you go, the smaller the strings get. And then you have the bass strings, but otherwise this should continue longer, so they located it here, because from there you have the brass strings. But actually this is also shaped, so there it's closer than there, which you don't have in a Steinway, for example. It's like in a straight line for Steinway, more or less. Erard actually had this shape, and I think older pianos of this period have this too. So the piano for the moment is standing there in these nice positions, because I'm working on the legs. You can also see the wood difference. So this I polished already, I sanded it, this not yet, I have still to do it. Now I'm mounting back the hammers. So when I screw it, you have to see that this is like in the middle, so you can unscrew and put it right or left to have this in the middle. Now if this is in the middle and they are still too close to each other, it either means we have to bend them a bit back, or it means this has to be bent a bit back and then adjusted again. And then for the height, it will be this regulation here. You turn this one direction or the other one. Now I don't have a tool for this. I'll ask my technician if he has one. Let's see, otherwise we'll have to find one. So there my wife is working for me doing the hammers because I have to look for the baby. And there, my mother is working for me. She's taking the lac off, as you can see. She's working. So all the women are working for me. And I'm with my son. Listening to Mozart with my son. So there you can see already the result. When it's getting dry, you can see the wood color is matte and clear, and then when it's wet, because we clean it with water, it's dark. And it's only when it's dry that you can see if some of the lac is gone or all of the lac is gone. It will probably need some, like you can see here, some spots are still having lac, so there you need to put some more or to sand it eventually.